G'day.
Hello there.
I'm Aussie Robbo.
I'm Miss Jen.
And welcome to our episode where we visit the Wilderness Lodge.
Yeah, so we're actually here not to stay, sadly, but we are here to have something to eat, and we're going to be eating at the Artist Point Storybook Dining with Snow White. So
it was easy for you to say.
It's going to be how many times I'll try it. So we're going to be having a full meal, and there's going to be characters as well. So you're going to be in heaven. Lots of interaction. But yeah, while we're here, we might as well have a look around and see what else we're missing out on. Come join us.
See how the other half live.
Yes, please.
So we've just got to the Wilderness Lodge, and we're just walking around the outside at the moment. It looks a lot bigger than I expected. And it has this feeling of like houses built on top of each other in this kind of random way where they're all just kind of stacked in different areas. It actually looks really cool. I'm really impressed so far with the first impression that I've got. Another kind of first impression I'm getting when I'm looking around is it's reminding me of when I used to live in Colorado and the kind of accommodations that were in the mountains and the ski resorts. So I don't know if this is a little premature or not, but this actually may be my new favourite lodge. Yeah, I'm really impressed by this on first impressions. We'll see how dinner goes, and we'll see how a bit of more of a walk around, but this place is really cool.
It's very secluded. It feels very secluded. It feels like no matter where you go, we're not wall-to-wall people. Beautiful.
It does take me back to Colorado for sure. It gives me a whole Colorado vibe, being in the mountains, even if we're right in the middle of flat and swampy Florida.
Yeah, it is. It overtakes you as you enter, and also as you come through to the other side. I thought the entrance was impressive when you come through to this side.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, it's multi-level.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're at the geyser. We're at Geyser Point, where you can also have an alternative place to eat and drink. But we're going to be eating with Snow White and those dwarves of hers.
The overlook. Let's just hope Darren doesn't get a little shining.
Matching ears. So tonight, with the starter, we have shared options, which is quite a nice surprise. I wasn't expecting that. So we've got shared options of 3 starters, and I'll take you through them. The story begins. So we have a wild mushroom bisque. That's crispy mushroom. And we've got hunter's pie, which is turkey, chicken, black truffle, cranberry preserve, and crispy sauerkraut. And then lastly, the one in the jar is Bloody Mary vinaigrette, seaweed salad, and spiced house-made seasoning. And all 3 of them look really, really delicious.
So one thing our waiter did explain when we first got in the restaurant is that the trees above, when the lights start to come on the trees, the characters will start to come through, I believe. I'm not sure if that's the group thing or if that's the individual, but we'll soon find out and let you know later on.
Well, we've already met one, so...
I'm assuming that's the group situation.
Yeah. And there it goes, into the woods, people, into the woods. Hello.
So Darren,
going through the forest.
How is starters?
So first I tried the shrimp sort of salad with the seaweed salad. Refreshing. The shrimp was really well done. Like sort of, it was moist, wasn't dry. Then moved on to the hunter's pie, the little mini pastry, filo pastry. That was beautiful. I think the pastry exploded everywhere, so that was a bit kind of weird, but the actual meat, considering I don't like turkey, was really good. And it has chicken and turkey in there. That was really juicy and flavourful.
Right.
Finally, the bisque, the mushroom bisque. I've never had mushrooms that are crispy before. I want all my mushrooms crispy from now on, please. Are you hearing that, Rob? All my mushrooms crispy. Yeah, really beautiful. Creamy. I could have eaten a whole bowl full of that. But it's a really nice starter and a great way to start the whole experience. So I'm going to give each individual one rather than overall. I would give the bisque 4 Kenobis, the hunter's pie 4 Kenobis, and the prawn 3, the shrimp salad 3 Kenobis.
Through this forest here, right?
So I had the shrimp first, and I quite enjoyed that. It was very nice flavours, very small, but yeah, nice flavours. And then the meatball, the turkey meat.
Hunter's pie, yeah.
Yes. A little tougher than I expected it to be, so it wasn't my particular favourite. And then the bisque was very nice. I enjoyed it. Well, I was quite surprised by the firmness or the crispiness of the mushroom. But yeah, it's very nice.
What about the surprise with the shrimp salad at the start?
Oh, it was very smoky. So you had Darren missed it, but there was a lot of smoke coming out of the container. And if you smell it, you get like quite a woody aroma going.
Now when you look, it smells it.
Yeah. But overall, on the starters, I'll give them a 4 shrimps and a barbie.
That's a good start.
The only thing that kind of let it down a bit was the hunter's pie. You're looking stunning this evening.
As I do every evening. Has anyone been saying otherwise?
Not that I've been hearing. No.
Those dwarves are not to be trusted. They like to spread rumors, you know.
Thank you.
So I'm drinking the Enchanted Apple. It's actually really nice, very sweet. Vodka infused apple drink, and it has a layer of kind of sugar on the outside of the glass. So it's like you're drinking a martini, but it's not. Maybe it is martini, I don't know. So yeah, citrus vodka, Tikaipa, pucker, sour apple, and white cranberry juice.
So I had the Smoky Mirror, which essentially is like a bourbon. It's supposed to have a bit of theatrics with it, but it was all very rushed because the Evil Queen was coming. Can't blame her, but it would have been nice to have actually had the theatrics. It really hits you, the smoke, more so than the shrimp earlier on. Oh, that's got quite a kick to it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice. But I can understand now why there's not lots of it, because it is quite strong.
Right.
Got that fruity lime sort of kick to it.
Right.
But the smoke is, it just... Yeah.
How was your main?
The pork shank was lovely. I couldn't eat it all because it was quite a lot of it. And I'm not a big meat eater.
Welcome, honored guests, to the Enchanted Forest.
Yeah, really, like the outer side of the shank just came away, just beautiful. Got a little bit dry as you got towards the bone, but it was amazing. And the mash was really lovely. The beetroot, sliced beetroot, perfect. But I know there's going to be like a triple of desserts, so I want to save some room. I don't want to like overfill myself. I would give that. I would give it 4 Kenobis. Yeah, 4 Kenobis. Yeah,
Decent.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had the stroganoff. It was a little different to what I expected in terms of the stroganoff. There wasn't a huge amount of sauce, so I expected a bit more sauce, but the flavour was fantastic. Definitely stroganoff flavour. The beef were chunks of beef, very well cooked, tasted fantastic, very nice. And it came with some vegetables, not too many, which is good, you don't want to overpower it. And
Beat me to it.
Welcome, friends.
Too late.
Once
Too late.
upon a time, there lived a princess with skin as white as snow.
Oh.
Yes, Snow White. She's about to
You have to hold your hands like this.
give a warm welcome to Snow White.
well, that was brief, just like all the women in my life.
Don't know what to say to that. Yeah, it's a strange one with the character interactions because they are brief and fleeting. So they catch you by surprise.
I thought she came out with the 7 dwarfs.
No, they can't fit all dwarves in here. You've seen the size of them? Largest dwarves you're ever likely to see. So yeah, you get Dopey and Grumpy sort of attend, and that's it. But there are sort of regular intervals. It's just there's no particular. You get a little bit of warning, but it's very kind of like everybody put everything down and get your cameras ready. And then she literally runs past it, she runs back, and that's it. Which is kind of fun. But I'm looking at, where I'm sat, I'm looking at the entrance, so relying on this one to warn me when a princess or a queen comes.
As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by the princess. The meal comes with the spätzle. I think it's spätzle. I think it's pronounced spätzle. I've never heard of it before, so I had to Google it. But it's like a noodle type thing from Switzerland, Germany kind of area, and that was quite nice as well. It's like pasta, small little pastas of pasta, like a noodle. But overall, I enjoyed that meal very much. I enjoyed it very much, and I think I'm going to go for a 5 shrimps on a barbie.
Wow.
It wasn't recommended by the waiter, so I guess it's not one of the most highly regarded meals on the menu, but I quite enjoyed it, so I would definitely recommend it. Your cooking has been amazing this evening.
And how's that? I'm so very happy. I do love baking and cooking too. Do you like to bake and cook as well?
I do. You cook, I bake.
Very lovely. We should do some cooking and baking together.
Indeed.
That sounds like a lovely adventure together.
Two grumpy men in one photo. Who would have thought? Thank you very much.
It's like you. He's not grumpy. He's misunderstood.
I've already implied that you're grumpy this evening, so
I'm dopey and grumpy then.
it's back. Good to see you again.
3, I present the Huntsman's Box.
More smoke.
Thanks
Great.
so much.
You're welcome. This is a cookies and cream. This is a white chocolate raspberry for you to enjoy.
It's another kind of moussey.
Oh.
May I take your heart? That's nice. That one I like.
Yeah. Darren, what did you think of the desserts?
Desserts, kind of similar to when we were at Be Our Guest. There's kind of that similar repetitiveness. So there's lots of mousses, or similar to if you went to a chocolate sweet shop kind of thing. They're all kind of samey. Wasn't a fan of the gooseberries. I'm not a fan of gooseberries anyway because there's a texture thing for me. It was very sweet. The meringue on top was nice. pastry was just too dry and brittle, so it was difficult to eat, especially with that size. The chocolate mousse, it was standard, it was meh. And then the actual one I didn't think I would like was the sour apple, and that was actually lovely. That was really, really nice. I could have actually had that just on its own, like say 3 times or bigger, and I'd have been more than happy. I actually would have come away a lot happier. Overall rating, I would say, I'm going to say 3 Kenobis, purely because 2 out of the 3 weren't up to scratch and were actually kind of very meh.
So it's quite nice to get a range of desserts. The dessert that appealed to me again was the same one that you had, was the sour apple. It had the nicest flavour out of all of them, the nicest texture, and visually it was quite entertaining, one might say. So the desserts, I didn't like them all, they weren't to my taste necessarily, but it's nice that you get a selection so that you kind of get a taste for everyone, you know, that a wide-ranging kind of variety, one might say. So I'm going to give it actually a 4 shrimps on a barbie, because I think it's quite a nice effort. Either way, they were better than the ones we had at the Beast experience.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yes, be our guest. My overall evaluation of the restaurant. So, character meat restaurants aren't my thing. I'm going to be brutally honest.
Shock.
But I quite enjoyed the whole theatricality of the meal experience there. So, you know, you have characters coming along every once in a while. I think it works quite well. We had a good position because I guess with COVID and everything, some people don't get to go too close to the characters, but we did. The food was fantastic. I especially love the main. You know, not everything that you're going to get, especially with the starters, is going to be to your taste. I wasn't a huge fan of the turkey, but yeah, I think it's. I would definitely recommend that as an overall experience. You know, it is quite pricey, so it's definitely more of a treat than a regular daily visit.
How much was it for us, including tip? We gave a tip 20%, didn't we?
20%. So we gave a tip for 20%. We each had an alcoholic drink, and
around $14.
It was about $90 each with tip. So it is fairly pricey.
$190 in total.
Yeah, 95 each
tonight.
Yeah. So, but I would definitely recommend that as an overall experience. Yes, definitely worth a go if you can afford it.
So in regards to the overall experience, I would reiterate what Rob's saying. Hits and misses on the starters and the desserts, but the actual mains, from what I can tell from looking at the other things we didn't pick, there's a wide range. Mine was probably one of the best pork meals I've ever had. The pork shank was just beautifully presented, but also was so easy to eat. The drinks were varied as well. I tried Rob's, which is an apple-based one. Again, don't normally like apple, but I actually really liked it. It had like a sweet, sugary rim on it. It says it was trying to give a straight face. Mine was very smoky, very strong. One that you either down it or you sip it. One or the other. You don't. Yeah. But price-wise, yes, it is. It's signature dining. It's one of those where do it if you can afford it, and it's a special occasion. You will be made to feel special. Generally, I feel like we certainly were. We certainly, yeah. There's a lot of interaction with everybody. You have a server, you have the person who greets you. The characters do come to you table by table. Obviously, there's going to be better position seating than others. If there's just 2 of you, they tend to be nearer the middle. The big groups tend to be nearer the sides. So maybe take that into account when you're booking as well. You may be disappointed about where you're sat in regards to the characters performing, but you can have a distance photo with them.
Would you recommend it overall then?
Yeah, I would recommend it. It surprised both of us, and we're not huge on character meet and greets, especially when it's live, like human ones. It can become kind of awkward, but the Queen was wicked. I mean, pun intended. The Queen was wicked. Her facial expressions were amazing.
I feel like we haven't had a huge amount of character experiences, but compared to the Beast, you know, the surroundings don't really compare to the other experience.
No,
I feel the food might have been a bit better here, maybe.
the food was
And the
better.
interaction with characters.
The food was better. The environment could be improved on. I get what they're doing. They're making it so it's just slowly taking over the environment that is the Wilderness Lodge. But I feel like with a space dedicated to that kind of theatrical meal, they could go further, a lot further. Especially with the types of characters you're coming in. Go with the fantasy. Go full force with the fantasy. And I think it'll actually encourage more people to even come and visit.
So now we're into American Tire. This has got some really lovely items in it. So you've got service. Oh, what do you think of that?
I think it looks amazing. I think it's one of the coolest Disney sculptures I've seen, I think.
I think you should maybe treat yourself to that one.
Yeah, but how are you going to go back?
Easy, I've got bigger things back. Treat yourself. Dog Team Drool Soap. Bear Breath Soap. I've actually heard of these and they're supposed to be really good. But no, there's some really lovely stuff, especially this Smoky Bear. $4.99. I'm assuming they're all the same. I wonder if we do like a series and only release certain ones at a time. Disney's what we've just been to. And we have this awesome totem pole tower. Amazing. But we do have these one-off items such as the same totem pole but is a Christmas decoration, which I think is rather fabulous. And again, same totem pole but as a picture stand. Which I think is really nice. And to go with that, we've got a massive, heavy picture frame. Really beautifully done. And the rest of the story is kind of typical, pinned. Oh, I see someone's gone back. They've gone back to touch it again. Will he or won't he? That is the question.
So that's us signing off from our first ever visit to the Wilderness Lodge. Gotta say, we're impressed. We've come away with some keepsakes, so you get little cards each. And look, the characters, each one of them, handwritten, their signatures. Really nice keepsakes, the kids love them. I love them. And somebody might have been buying things, and it's not me for a change.
But I would definitely love to come back to this resort someday.
To stay.
It might be my number one on the top of the list to come back to now.
Wow.
In terms of dreams. Realistically though, financially, it might be a long time before I can actually afford to stay here, but I would love to definitely come someday.
Keep that in mind for the future when it eventually happens. So thanks for watching. Thanks for coming along with us on our first visit here. Hope you liked, and please leave a comment if you've been to the Wilderness Lodge and what your favourite meal options are here, because there's lots of places to eat. And so we'd like advice on where to stay when we come here.
So tomorrow's Universal, but thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave those comments.
Bye. Bye-bye.